Well, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. This is Mike Burrell, founder of Cryptocurrency Global Wealth, and finally back on cue for the video. Guys, this has been a very exciting week for me. I've been away from Cryptocurrency Global Wealth for over 4 to 5 days due because of the political assumption, particularly my man Donald J. Trump taking over the presidency as of the night. So we're looking forward to that inauguration on January the 20th, 2017. We can see a lot of great things that are going to happen, specifically in the first year of with him being in office, which is absolutely great. So what I've done, I've basically done a little segment that I'm going to keep there permanently. Now, I don't know, I've had a few people say, yeah, this is great to have InfoWars on your website, but why? I'll tell you why. It's because it's the real alternative media all around the world. It has the biggest ratings than any other media that you can ever think of around the world. So here you have it. Alex Jones right in front of me. He's just one of my favorite icons, and he knows what he's talking about when it comes to the world, geopolitics, and the economy. So just wanted to get that out of the way a little bit, and then I wanted to go straight into the 7th segment, which is arbitrage technology. So bear with me, this is going to be a very, very quick video. I just wanted to simply go over some of the stuff with you, and then you can revise and think out what can I do with this technology, especially if you are going to trade on the stock markets. But anyway, I'm here to give you guys some simple advice, and as I said to you, it's all free video training. Whatever you do with it, take notes. If you have an understanding of what I'm talking about, that's great, absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm still getting a lot of negative stuff, which is good. So it's giving that a bit of a balance. Perhaps a few positive emails and that as well, particularly from South Africa, thinking that this is amazing that I am doing this for Cryptocurrency Global Wealth. And as I said to you, it is a free video training site. So to everybody out there, please be advised that the arbitrage technology that I'm talking about in the 7th segment is going to be absolutely fantastic. Know how to make money on a daily or weekly basis. So, alright, as I said to you, click on the arbitrage technology up top tab here, and just always need to scroll down. Now what I've done is fairly simple. Put the arbitrage trading solution, a significance idea on a video, as well as what's it all about, and giving you the understanding of how you can trade, and pretty much gives you that simple understanding of what arbitrage trading is. Now, everything's a risk. It's always going to be high risk, no matter what, win or lose. But arbitrage technology, it's been around for quite some time, and other different markets procedures, but in cryptocurrency, particularly with Bitcoin being so volatile, I've known a lot of people to make a whole lot of money within a day, within a week, or within a month as well. So what is arbitrage technology? Arbitrage is to simultaneously purchase and sell of an asset to profit from a difference in the price. It is a trade that profits by exploiting the price differences by identical or similar financial instruments on different markets or in different forms. Arbitrage in Bitcoin is the technique of investing in two assets, so it's going long one and short the other. That means assuming that the prices will converge over time. This is made possible as a result of market inefficiencies, although as technology advances, more and more of these inefficiencies are likely to be smaller and to be eliminated faster. Now, for arbitrage, it's meant to be risk-free profit, but in reality, it's very, very rarely it is. But due to the fact that any profit from arbitrage is likely to be small, traders and investors will put in vast amounts of money to magnify its returns. It is the most famous example of arbitrage is that of a long-term capital management investment. Now, the quant-based hedge fund, which started off selling, for example, US government bonds and buying old ones, and taking these profits as the prices converge. Hedge funds, which operate an event-driven strategy, often work on the basis of a merger arbitrage, i.e. that stock prices or companies will converge if they complete on a merger deal. Now, I say this to arbitrage opportunities for cryptocurrencies. There are many different markets for the whole wide variety of cryptocurrency coins all over the globe, but any given asset will be offered at different prices across these markets, giving you clear opportunities for arbitrage, taking advantage of the price difference between markets. Now, arbitrage technology has never been simple, but cryptocurrency has added a whole new layer of complexity, whereas for one mostly needed to settle varying deposits, withdrawals, fees and times, traders know how and are aware of what versions of coins the protocol exchange is running to find out what can happen when a cryptocurrency is being traded by forks, or in this case creates a new blockchain altogether. So, how do bots trade in financial markets? So for me to explain the outcome and understanding, it is a long established and legitimate activity. It is more easier than anywhere in the cryptocurrency markets. So how do they work? These bots really make money for you. Trading bots are trading software programs that talk directly to financial exchanges, which place buy and sell orders on your behalf. Decision makers like these bots watch market price movements and react automated to set of pre-defined rules 24/7, 365 days of the year. So the market maker. Trading bots use inter-exchange arbitrage in between prices and orders on difficult exchanges, buying on some while selling on others multiple times. Now, established practices like, for example, Joseph Lee is the founder of Derivatives Exchange, BTC.SX, based in its trending engine on algorithm trading bots that he originally wrote himself. In one example, he claimed to have turned $100 by order into 200,000 in profits using his private software army, and a lot of that price increase stems from a massive price increase, which surged for Bitcoin late in October 2013 of that year. Lee claimed that his bots shifted 10% of the market's entire volume, but started using these methods when Bitcoin prices set at between $2 to $4 per BTC at that time and period. But today, the Bitcoin trading bot market is far more established, has massive amounts and a whole ton of several opportunities and availabilities. Examples such as Butterbot, Hands Online, Crypto Trader offering a trading bot marketplace that allowing people to develop bots using different trading strategies and willing to rent to other interested parties. Now, this is just a simple example giving you an understanding of what arbitrage is. So what I've done, I've added up to 4 videos that contain, especially with Winklevoss Squints, these guys are the best of the best when it comes to it. This heard is down the line about 2 days, a day out before Donald Trump. They had won an excessive amount of money on the exchange, right into I think 3.2 billion. I was told with arbitrage technology, absolutely amazing. So what I did, I've added an example, the Bitcoin arbitrage technology chart sample, and that will give you an understanding and an outlay similar to an infographic to tell you whether it is something significant and worth learning and studying. So how do you make money with arbitrage technology and bots? Arbitrage is a way to earn profit from the difference in price between two markets. Usually large exchanges have a lot of members or traders who can react quickly to any news related to their market. It's also called liquidity because on such exchanges, like this asset can be turned into cash and cash into an asset. But there's always someone on the exchange who's waiting for an offer and is ready to deal. Well, not always, but often there are also pure liquid exchanges where there are pure traders and at times when you try to sell or buy an asset, you need to wait for someone to accept your offer and approve the transaction. We all know that the old saying is that time means money, but if you're required to wait too long, you may lose some of your profit. So that's why this is a demand for arbitrage. For instance, Bitcoin prices that have grown for a few hours due to some positive news. People decide that cryptocurrency has a bright future and decide to invest their money into this cryptocurrency. Usually they go into the most popular and famous Bitcoin exchange platforms like Bitstamp. There's already enough liquidity in the exchange, and these people help increase that. So consequently, the prices tend to change and increase rapidly over a fall, which is very low at the same time. Less liquid Bitcoin exchange platforms, with fewer members and traders, are also growing or decreasing, not as fast as this is it is at its highest key point. So like in a few hours, for example, or minutes, it appears to spread, for example, a liquid exchange that has prices up to $350 worth of Bitcoin, while a non-liquid exchange has $335 worth of Bitcoin at the same moment. That is an opportunity for arbitrage. It is going to be around $15. So what I've done a very simplified example of Bitcoin arbitrage. So here's an example. The price of Bitcoin on Coinbase is 650, and the price of Bitcoin on BTC exchange is 636. The difference between the prices is $14, and this is quite a decent opportunity for arbitrage. Now let's say you buy 100 Bitcoins on BTC exchange at the rate of 636 each, and subsequently you sell them at Coinbase at the rate of 650 each. You make $14 per Bitcoin. So let's get down to the math. Number of Bitcoins bought in Bitcoin exchange is 100. Price of each Bitcoin is at 636 US dollars. The total price is 636, and the ratio to 100 equals 63,300. The number of Bitcoins sold in Coinbase, again 100. Price of each Bitcoin 650. Total 650 ratio to 100 is 65,000. So the total net profit you will make between 65,000 and 63,300 is around 1,700. Thus, you'll see that Bitcoin arbitrage seems like a wonderful opportunity to make some passive income, but there are a few barriers to it, positively and negatively. So, what I've done is just given you the top 50 Bitcoin arbitrage exchanges, and as I said to you, when you scroll down to the bottom, Bitstamp is probably where you'll be most safely to be. Also, CoinFloor, Kraken, and Voltura. Voltura is one of my favorite. ShapeShift is pretty good. I tried it for the first 2 instances of the second month, and it just didn't work out for me. So, for all you new guys that are willing to get into the arbitrage and trading, the Bitstamp is where you safely want to be. Just make sure that you have a set e-wallet, and make sure you follow those procedures with Bitstamp as well. Look, once you get the hang of it, it's fairly easy to understand. I guess it just means that you are going to be working out a whole lot of things for yourself, different directions. Is this going to be more of a negative to or more of a positive to? I believe that the more you learn on arbitrage technology, and there's millions of opportunities out there, do your homework, do your facts. It will show you what's good and what's not, what's very lucrative and what to stay away from. So I believe if you are looking for some very good information, I would say 99bitcoins.com is a good place to check out the latest in arbitrage technology, especially with the big hitters in there. Reddit is probably another one to go into because you have some of the top guys in there that are making millions on arbitrage technology. But I guess, as I said to you, it's a very high risk game, and if you can't afford to make money on that side, particularly with Bitcoin, I highly suggest to stay away from it unless you're willing to lose a lot of money or win a lot of money. It just depends. It's a gamble. But anyway, guys, that's it. Arbitrage technology is fairly easy for me. I've been doing it for quite some time, and of course, you make some fairly good, decent money, especially in a day. Look a day. We're going back. May in less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours, 42 Bitcoin, which is nearly a year's worth of salary to normal people. So yeah, it does work. It just depends how much time and how much money are you going to put aside for that. But don't count on my expertise, because as I said to you, it's passion. I'm just giving you some free advice. Do your homework. Look at the risk factors. Look at the positive factors where you're going to make the wins. And one thing before I go, Bitstamp. Do your work. Homework on bitstamp.net, because it has some very, very exciting, up to date, and it will give you a full insight, particularly with trade views, buy and sell, open up a free account, throw a deposit Bitcoin in there, and basically it's an online trading system that could help you, especially with arbitrage technology. But very exciting stuff, as I said to you. And from the moment that you start trading arbitrage technology, I guess this would be probably one of the greatest advantages. Is knowing that the Bitstamp is where you want to start trading first. It's a set foundation, and then once you get your experience up and running, then you can start making some very serious money. I know a friend of mine who makes about 20 to 32 Bitcoin on a daily basis within 2 to 3 hours, because he has his bots sorted. It's taken him 4.5 years to get that up and running, and a lot of moolah to get it going. But he made his own money, and he basically was one of the say Bitstamp is where you want to start the arbitrage technology. And as I said to you, there's always a risk. There's always a risk factor, but if you want to make some serious cash, especially in US dollars with Bitcoin, Bitstamp's the way to go. Alright guys, I'm off well, down to cryptocurrency level wealth, finally back into it again. Look out for video segment number 8, coming very soon over the next 3 days to a week. Signing off, bye for now.